This is Smarter San Diego TV.
Millennials and baby boomers alike, they want to be in urban environments right now.
Thank God for the Electoral College vote.
In a 4-hour breakfast, we raised $9,000. So that's something that we take pretty seriously.
And you can't diet your way into being lean and fit. They go together.
In New York City, deciding what's best for the rest of the freaking country.
This is not a market built on a stack of cards. It's a solid foundation.
0%. That is a thumbs up.
Everyone has a life worth telling a story about. And the more adversity that you faced, the deeper your story.
Well, am I going to be okay? Am I going to be able to walk?
There's just so much creativity in this town that it's hard to hide it.
Well, you have these beliefs, well, what do you do with it?
Our next guest is here to share 2 books that he is releasing on home selling strategies. Please welcome Realtor, broker, owner at Keller Williams Realty, North County, Mike Litton.
There he is. Welcome back, Mr. Litton.
Everybody,
in the house.
Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
First show of the year. Great to have you here. You know, this is we normally talk about all sorts of things when you're on the show. Real estate,
everything's
politics,
on the table.
News. I mean, all sorts of things. Today, though, I want to take the opportunity to ask you about some books that you've recently written.
Yeah.
Now, I've tried to write books before myself. I know what a daunting task that's been because I've never finished one.
Yeah.
And so I know that you're a busy guy, too. So for you to take the time to sit down and write 2 books, there must be darn good reasons.
Well, I had a lot of help.
Okay.
I had a lot of help, so I didn't do it by myself. I'll tell you the reasons. I've seen some trends lately. I've seen that we have a pretty vibrant real estate market, and since the election, it's even better. I've seen people look at that and try to do things with their properties that they shouldn't do, and their homes sit on the market. They're not selling. And I've been through the 2008, 2009, I've been in this business, in the industry, I'm going on my 26th year. And I see people make mistakes. And so the reason why we did this was to get the information in the hands of people so that they don't make the same mistakes that I'm seeing people make. So you know how passionate I am about helping people and educating and that kind of thing. And I've had radio shows and been on television and all that, trying to get the word out about the things that people need to know. And I'm working on my 3rd book, by the way, just
really?
So you know, yeah. It's about the magic of real estate, and it's about things that investors know, millionaires know, people who are unbelievably successful know, but I want everybody else to know it too. And so it's about the lessons I've learned from a lot of my successful clients, and it's also about teaching people how they can succeed at whatever level they want to succeed, because success is different for everybody.
Sure. So let's talk about the first book,
sure,
which is about how to sell any home.
In any market.
In any market. Mm-hmm. Even hard to sell homes. You
exactly.
Put that in the title.
Mm-hmm. On purpose.
yeah. Is that, you look at this market and you see that it's on fire and you think, oh, well, people, and a lot of sellers think this, well, if I just list my house, it'll
throw it out there.
Fly off.
That's why we wrote the book.
Okay, so because that's not true.
True,
and
it's absolutely not true.
Some people do have trouble selling their house. So what are they going to get from reading this book?
It's a guide. It's a way for them to understand that there are certain things that you have to do. You have to stage. You have to make sure you have curb appeal. You have to make sure that you do certain things. Put your best foot forward. I'll give you an example. A few months ago, I received a phone call from a gentleman who had his home listed. He called me up and he said, hey, I want you to come list my house. Okay. So I did some research and I called him up and I said, just so you know, you're listed with another broker. You've been listed with them for 5 months at $122,000. And it's considered a short sale according to the MLS. They're calling it a short sale. And he said, I didn't even know I was still working with them. I haven't heard from them in 5 months. And I said, well, I can't really meet with you until you've worked with your current broker. That's not something we do ethically. He got a hold of his broker. He canceled his listing. Once he had the cancellation in his hands, then I went and met with him. And we sat down and we talked. And I said, talk to me, because I looked at his home and I felt like it was worth more than $122,000. But there were 2 photos on the MLS. 2. And none of them of the inside of the home. And so my feeling about it was worth more than $122,000, but it needed to be marketed. It needed to be, the public needed to know that it was available for something other than a short sale. So we ended up listing it at $169. Within a week, we had 3 offers. One at $179, one at $189, and one at $202.
Wow.
We sold it, closed it, the day before he was going to lose it at trustee sale, at foreclosure sale. We closed it the day before for $80,000 above what the previous broker had it listed for 5 months, and they couldn't sell it. JP, I wanted to thank you for working with me. I appreciate the opportunity. I wanted to just kind of recap real quick that we came into this with you firing your previous broker that had your home on the market for 5 months at $122,000 and couldn't sell it.
That's right.
We're getting ready to close today on your house at $80,000 above that number.
Yeah.
Are you happy with what we did?
I'm completely happy and satisfied.
Beautiful. Would you recommend that people work with us?
100%.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you, sir.
I will recommend you to anybody.
I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Wow. And that's just simply by following the steps that you have put in the book.
Yes.
Correct? So how does someone get a hold of this book?
They just call me.
Okay.
They just the phone number is, I'm sure, on the screen. Give me a call. I'll be happy to send it to you.
How much does the book cost?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
Oh, it's free. I'm giving it out for free.
The book's free. Free for
I bought a bunch of them. I'm giving them out for free.
Anyone who wants a copy can get it for free.
Yeah.
Incredible. So you're sharing all these secrets for free.
Yes.
Unbelievable. That's
and on purpose. I'm doing it on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. No, I get it. You've always been a very generous guy, and this is obviously one of the most generous things you could possibly do, sharing all of your secrets and giving that wealth of information out to folks completely free. I mean,
it's a real passion for me.
Yeah, that's huge.
I got into this business because I got turned down for a home loan. Literally. I got turned down for a home loan. And the guy that I was working with at a bank that shall remain nameless, that's no longer in business, by the way, wouldn't answer my questions. Wouldn't return my phone calls, wouldn't answer my questions, nothing. I just got a form letter in the mail.
So you decided to make change.
I decided to learn what he knew. Mm-hmm. And I did. And my very first loan that I funded, my very first day in the business, or very first month in the business, 8 other lenders had turned down.
Incredible. Well, this is just proof that, when people get to a stopping point, there is another, possibility. It's not, there's no such thing as an end of the road.
You don't fail unless you quit.
That's right. There's no end of the road. The road is endlessly long. It just depends on whenever you take your foot off the gas, and you're proof of that. So this book is about selling any home in any market, no matter what kind of home it is. But your other book, which is a guide to navigating a inherited home sale, or what might be called a probate home sale in some cases.
Some cases it is, some cases it's not.
If it's a probate deal or not, but an inherited home sale. That's a very specific, situation. So you must have experienced something that made you want to go dive into all the intricacies of something like that.
Huge numbers of those situations. We have a real trend happening right now. There's 10,000 baby boomers a day nationwide that are retiring, and they're trying to leave their real estate to a generation that has told us that they're not real hot about real estate, because that generation, when they were teenagers, watched their family lose their home. They watched their grandparents lose their home. They watched their friends of their family lose their home. And so what's happening is they're inheriting these properties and they don't know what to do. And I'm seeing them make a lot of the same mistakes that you don't want to make. And so the reason, again, I wanted to get the information in the hands of the people who need it. So if they've inherited a home, this is a guide on how to navigate through that process. And basically it's about trying to give them the ammunition and the knowledge so that they don't make the same mistakes that I'm seeing people make.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's it's something that happens every day. People inherit homes for different reasons, different situations, different circumstances, and sometimes there's multiple people who inherit the same home.
Yeah.
That happens too, which is another layer of complications. So it's fantastic to have a guide right there. And by the way, this isn't a dictionary-sized book. This is an easy read, right?
Yeah.
It's designed to be simple to understand.
Yeah, we kept it small for a reason.
Yes.
Okay, it gets to the point. It gets to the nitty-gritty. There's not a lot of fluff in it. It's the information they need.
Now, is that book free as well, Mike?
Yeah.
These books are completely free.
They're completely free.
It's unbelievable. All I have to do is give you a call.
Just call me.
Call Mike, get these books for free. I tell you what, if we haven't added some value to your life today, I don't know how we would do it.
That's what it's all about,
You're
man.
giving all these secrets away for free. You've put them in black and white, easy to understand. Mike, this is amazing stuff, man. What a great way to kick off the new year. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming
It was great
today.
to see you, man.
Fantastic
Happy
stuff
New
from
Year.
Mr. Mike Litton. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.